Welcome to Kathryn Raaker's World. Innovation, culture, adventure, fashion and health, artists, destinations, traditions. This is Kathryn Raaker's World.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World, and let's just talk. The summer season is just weeks away, and that means a new opportunity to reset your health and wellness goals. We have today as our guest, and she's been on my show before, is wellness lifestyle expert Jaime Hess. She's here with tips for a healthier routine, making time and focusing on wellness. And by the way, she is co-creator of NYC FitFam, named one of the season's fittest couples on Instagram by Women's Health magazine. And Jaime and her family have been featured on Dr. Oz, The Daily Burn, Refinery 29, The New York Post, The Observer, Mind, Body, Green, and more. Her focus is on fitness, nutrition, wellness hacks, and conscientious parenting. Welcome to our show today. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Thanks for having me. I'm excited that the weather, at least where I'm living, the weather is finally warming up and I'm so ready.
Well, let me tell you, it's in the 80s today in the Midwest, and it's been like that for a couple of days now. And Jaime, what are some ways you found to keep self-care at the forefront? And, you know, women tend to do it to everybody, you know, they prepare everybody else, but they don't think about themselves. How can we change that?
I'm so glad you asked the question that way, because self-care is really where it starts. And I get questions all the time about diet and exercise, and I'm happy to talk about that. But if we're not focused on self-care, we're missing the mark as it pertains to wellness. And for me, I really took a deep look at my own life this year, and I said, it is time to focus back on being present with my family. That is the most important thing. And that is fundamentally self-care. For me, that means experiences and that means travel. And I'm actually not alone in thinking that. In fact, according to Booking.com's research, 76% of Americans say that travel helps their emotional and mental well-being more than other forms of relaxation. So Booking.com's free loyalty program, it's called Genius, is a great place to start. It's a great way to earn instant discounts that actually last a lifetime. So it's a really great program. The way that it works, as soon as you sign up, you get access to all of these rewards. You get up to 10% off on select car, bookers and places to stay, hotels. And then as you go up the levels in Genius, your discounts go up. So it's a really great program to be a part of if you are looking to really integrate travel as a part of your self-care routine and a way to really focus on enjoying those moments of your life. So head on over to their website. It's booking.com/genius to learn more about that particular program.
I wish you'd give that one more time. That would be important so that people get it, because I know I'm going on a cruise and a couple of other things this summer, which makes it wonderful.
Absolutely. If you want to book that feel-good travel for yourself, head on over to booking.com/genius. And that's where you can learn about their rewards program.
So now let me ask you, how can we stop everyday ailments from getting in the way of enjoying the warmer weather and getting prepared for, you know, swimsuit season, cruises, whatever we're doing? What do we do?
Well, yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned that as the weather changes, so do our activities, right? So I don't know about you, I'm outside walking more. I'm doing yoga outside. My husband is out taking the kids to all the youth sports. You know, maybe you're doing home improvement projects around the house or just gardening. You're going to have aches and pains. We all have them. So one of the things I like to keep on hand in my home is called Arnicare. Now, unlike other over-the-counter pain relief gels, it's Boron's Arnicare gel. Okay, so that's the full name, Boron Arnicare gel. You're going to want to look for that because of a few reasons. Number one, it's unscented. It's made from Arnica montana, which is a mountain daisy. So it's a plant-based, it's something that you use that can be used for the whole family. a great pain relief gel for the whole family. And then finally, here's what I love. It's not just for muscle pain and stiffness. It's also from swelling from injuries. It's for discoloration from bruises. So it really kind of benefits a whole host of things. Like my kids are constantly getting bruises. They're running into each other or themselves or, getting all banged up. And Arnicare is what I like to have on hand. Now, while we're talking about things to have on hand for the whole family, especially those kiddos, Vicks humidifiers. Now, here's why I love them. Vicks, of course, the #1 name in humidification across the country. I'm a mom of those 2 little boys. They both have a Vicks humidifier next to their bed. And what I love about it is the Vicks humidifier specifically gives you the ability to use the medicated Vicks VapoSteam and the Vapo Pads. That's going to give you that cool mist that gives you that relief from cough congestion. It also kind of reduces that dry air discomfort that we can get. It's going to help you breathe easier and even sleep more comfortably. So you're going to want to look into that. And I also like that you can just use it when you're not sick. I put in lavender essential oils in mine, and that can contribute to an overall sense of well-being.
Let's talk about diaper genies, since you must be a mom that has a little boy or a little girl or a baby.
Yes.
And that's really important to have around the house.
Well, when we're talking about self-care, it can mean how do we de-stress, right? And as new parents, I think we're supposed to think, oh, it's all rainbows and butterflies. It's so lovely. It can be the hardest time of your life. Let's be real. And so any product that can de-stress that time is a self-care product. Diaper Genie's Signature Pail is such a fabulous product. I love it because it's the first diaper disposal system that actually combines a patented odor controlling pail and this refill system. So it's going to help control those stinky odors and keep your house smelling fresher. I also like that it has a foot pedal because that makes it hands-free. And when you're up doing that diaper juggle in the middle of the night, trying to change those diapers, that really comes in handy and will help de-stress your life. It also holds up to 47 newborn diapers, and that's all while using 70% less plastic in their cartridge. So this is just a really great product if you are a new mom or dad, or if maybe you're going to a baby shower and you have that new mom or dad in your life.
Jaime, what other tips do you have for families this season? Because it's coming fast and furious, and people need to know about skincare. There's a lot of things that are coming up with the summer season that we need to take care of ourselves before, like wearing a hat or wearing sunscreen or whatever, because it's going to be a very, I think, very warm year in some parts of the country. What do you suggest?
So how about this? Let's get back to basics, right? Wellness has become very trendy. There's a lot of buzzwords flying around that can make it seem a little overwhelming. Getting back to basics, what you know, and then know better, do better, right? So you mentioned sunscreen, wearing hats. I think all of us had that misconception back in like the 80s that we should just be like tanning. Take care of your skin, wear some protective clothing, and just being aware. And also, last but not least, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So I always say the journey of a million miles starts with a single step. If you're feeling overwhelmed by a health and fitness journey, just get outside and take a walk today. The value of just getting kind of a little sunshine on your face with that sunblock on really can't be overstated. And doing it with your family gives everybody kind of a family-friendly activity to do together. I like to demonstrate all of those wellness things to my kids, right? So like my kids see me saying it's fun to get outside and take a walk versus saying, oh, I gotta go do my workout. And that's going to promote better skills and life skills for the kiddos as well.
I can't thank you enough for all this information. Where can people go and get information on all the things that we talked about today, Jaime?
So you can follow me on Instagram. I am NYC Fit Fam, and I share tips and tricks like this every single day.
And don't forget, for your summer wonderful things, is buy the new book, Elizabeth Bromwell, the Case of the Chinese Leopard. Some of it's true and some of it's not. And also go to our website at Kathryn Raaker's World, and let's just talk. Thank you for joining me today on Kathryn Raaker's World, Jaime.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World and Syndicated TV and Let's Just Talk Syndicated Radio. We have today with some tremendous guests, and they are Dr. Dorry Segev, and Doctor is a transplant surgeon at NYU Langone Health who has been studying COVID-19 disease progression in transplant patients. Dr. Dorry Segev has been significant contributions to the field of transplantation, including developing a mathematical model to facilitate a nationwide kidney pair donation program, both in the US and Canada. And Dr. Segev's opinion regarding COVID-19 and monoclonal antibody therapies has been quoted in major news outlets. Our guest joining him is Tracy A. Shaw, advocate and caregiver, board chair, Immune Deficiency Foundation, or IDF. Ms. Shaw currently serves as the vice chair of the board of trustees of the Immune Deficiency Foundation. She's also a solo mom to a recent college graduate with a primary immune deficiency and became active IDF volunteer in 2012 through advocacy and fundraising. With Maddie's Herd, a grassroots youth advocacy group founded by her daughter during her 8th grade, she's dedicated to amplifying the voice of rare disease community, especially PI. I want to welcome you both to our show today. How are you?
Thank you for having us on the show. We're great, and we're looking forward to talking to you about COVID.
Right, because I've hit it twice. A lot of people have hit it more than once, and people really want to hear what's going on. So, Dr. Segev, with the federal public health emergency for COVID-19 expiring, how will that impact those with weakened immune system, doctor?
So it's important to remember that the public health emergency is now expired, but COVID is still here, and COVID's going to be with us for years to come. And it's still problematic. 10,000 hospitalizations in the US last week, hundreds of people still dying every day from this disease. And it's particularly impactful for those with compromised immune systems. For example, I take care of transplant patients, and transplant patients have to take medications that compromise their immune systems. And now that the rest of the world is saying, okay, it's time to move on, our immunocompromised friends and neighbors and colleagues are saying, uh-oh, we better take new and complex ways to improve our protection, and talk to our doctors and try to figure out how to stay safe as the rest of the world is moving on.
What do we need to know about the current risks for COVID-19 among immune compromised people? And what do we do about it? And are the drugs that we have right now, or the medications that we have now, are they helping people?
Right. So throughout the whole pandemic, those who were immunocompromised have known that their risk of getting COVID is higher than everybody else's. And if they should get COVID, their risk of having a severe disease, like one that lands them in the hospital or one that even leads to their mortality, is higher than that for the general population. What is changing is, one, the emergency is done, so everybody else is kind of moving on, and that means more COVID out in the community. And then the variants are always changing as well, and the variants have done a pretty good job of escaping some of the therapeutics and protective systems that we had out there for everyone, and in particular for the immunocompromised. Now, there is research and new clinical trials underway to try to expand what immunocompromised people have available to them for protection and for treatment, but also they need to continue working with their doctors for personalized plans for saying, okay, this is you, this is your risk, this is what's going to help you the most, this is what you need to focus on.
Because there's also, you never know what's going to happen next as far as a disease, because of everything that's happening in the country right now. And, with immigration and everything coming in, we don't know what they have. So we have to protect the people that are immune to what's happening with COVID, correct? Am I right?
Correct. I mean, if you think about, it's the summertime, it's travel season, everyone leaves the state, they leave the country. It means we are mixing and we're bringing in all of the variants from all over the world, and we don't know which one's going to be the next dominant one and whether that one's going to be more aggressive than some of the ones that we've managed to see in the last year.
I want to thank you for that and your mission, because it's really important. My brother is a transplant recipient. A few of my relatives are, and it's very important to keep them safe, right? We want to keep them around a long time. So now this is for Tracy, Doctor. Tracy, how does this change how the immune compromised community stays safe against COVID-19 variants? And your organization is really a strong one as an advocate for this. And, there's a lot of people that have a COVID-19 where they can't get rid of it, or it just keeps coming back over and over again. Can you tell us everything about how we stay safe?
So firstly, I really appreciate your asking, and I'm delighted to hear that your family members are, I'm assuming, healthy, by the way you said that they are transplant recipients. So you're familiar with when one person in your family has an immune system that's been compromised, is fragile, or is vulnerable, it really means the whole family system is vulnerable and fragile, because we're working together to keep everyone safe. The Immune Deficiency Foundation provides information, education, advocacy, and resources for those living with primary immunodeficiency, and we're excited to be partnering with AstraZeneca on the Up the Antibodies campaign, so we could broaden that communication to all who are immune compromised, specifically when it comes to being careful and caregiving around COVID. For the immune compromised, the emergency being over, it might feel like everything old is new again. We've always been aware and vulnerable that what is happening externally can impact us in a greater way. That's why it's important to keep your vaccines up to date. It's important to wear a mask. It's important to understand who you're with and be courageous enough to ask people to help you protect yourself. And then it's important for us as a community to have a little grace and empathy, that if someone asks you to put on a mask, they're not doing it for any reason other than they want to participate in the fun, they want to be social too, and they also need to take care of themselves. So that I'm talking about that campaign, Up the Antibodies, there's a companion website, uptheantibodies.com, and that's where folks like yourself who are looking to take care of your family members who have had transplants, or if you have someone going through cancer treatment, autoimmune disease, or primary immunodeficiency concerns, in any of those circumstances, you can find resources to keep yourself safe and others.
Let me ask you a question. Can you give those websites out again so that I can write them down a little slower?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Uptheantibodies.com. UPTHLE antibodies.com. Just like it sounds.
Okay.
Easy to find, easy to navigate. All the information is there, from patient stories to true measures you can take to take care of yourself, your loved ones, your family, your colleagues, as well as the most up-to-date CDC information and guidelines. As Dr. Segev said, there could be a lot of COVID out there now that we're not tracking it the same way. So that means we need to be a little more vigilant on the other side. Uptheantibodies.com should have a lot of the information you're looking for.
And do you have the IDF website?
I do. It's primaryimmune.org. primaryimmune.org. Thank you for asking.
Thank you. And I want to thank you both for your missions. And Doctor, do you have a website that you want to give out as well?
I would just encourage people to go to the CDC and FDA websites, and obviously the website that Tracy told you about as well.
Thank you so much for your mission and keeping people healthy and safe. Thank you. And you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
And don't forget to go to our website at KathrynRaakersWorld.com or Let'sJustTalk.com. Thank you so much for joining me. See you soon. Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World and syndicated television show and Let's Just Talk, our syndicated radio show. I have with me a wonderful, wonderful author. His name is Paul Renfroe, and he actually Paul's books impact a new paradigm that further unlocks the Bible, releases the mind of Christ, and outlasts darkness. With decades of church service, they are ordained by Vision Church at Christian International. Paul is an author of 9 books, Unseen series, published by Peregrine Lighthouse. Book 1.
That's it.
Nobody Sees This You, How to Live as a Spirit in the Unseen Realm. First place winner in the Bible Studies CIPA's Nationwide Reader Judd Contest 2022. Book 2, Nobody Sees the Unseen Realm, How to Unlock Bible Mysteries. Where's 3?
Right there.
Oh, okay, sorry. And book 3 is Nobody Sees This Creation, The Origin of the Devil and His Replacements. Book 3 in the 9-book Unseen series.
And then book 4.
And then book 4, Nobody Sees These Enemies, The Misery of Humanity. And I love this. This is absolutely wonderful. And your bio is where?
Well, right up here on the front is all I gave you. But I can fill in some gaps. I was born in '56, before the heart-lung machine was invented.
Really?
So they told my parents I would die because my heart was malformed. So since that time, I've had 3 open heart surgeries and 2 arthroscopic surgeries. Wow. I've got a 6-inch artificial aorta. I've got 2 artificial valves. Wow. And after I got my last one, I went backpacking on the Appalachian Trail in just 11 weeks. And it's a testimony to the vitality and the vigor of Jesus Christ being available to you, the viewer, and to you, Kathryn, and to me, because he has a resurrection body. He traded places with us. We get his righteousness. He got our sins. We're down with that, but it doesn't stop there because he gives us vitality. I mean, look at me. I don't look like a sicko, do I?
No.
Okay, good.
And my cousin had a heart transplant of a woman. He had the first thing that actually chucked your heart.
Wow.
Pacemaker? It was 8 pounds.
Whoa.
Yes. So today
he was a pioneer.
And he did the Appalachian Trail as well.
All right, give me 5.
5.
All right. It's because the life of Jesus Christ is available to you and me.
That's right.
And you know, that's what we get older and we all die, right?
Right.
Everybody dies. So if you're uptight about that, you need to reconcile yourself. Even Jesus died. The cross didn't disappear under him. Even Paul got beheaded and Peter got crucified. But the point is that while we're alive in this earth, we have all the vigor and vitality of Jesus Christ available. So I've made a decision, and I hope you too have, this viewer, and I know Kathryn has. You can just tell by looking at her. And that is, I'm going to live until I die.
That's right. And then when we die, where do we go? Of course, heaven.
Amen, hallelujah.
Hello. Right, and the nice thing about it is that we know that heaven is going to be a very, very special place. And the older you get, because I'm older than you.
Yes? Well, I don't know.
Not much, but
I don't believe that.
But anyhow, I really love the thought of being and seeing Jesus in heaven.
Oh,
and the Father
that intimacy.
Yes, the intimacy of that.
It's because we're intimate with him now.
Right.
But it's kind of a junior, still unfulfilled.
Right.
But I think that's why he said, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, because that's part of it. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to interrupt.
I love the Lord. You love the Lord. I mean, what could be a better person? And viewer, if you're just tuning in, you've never had a real direct encounter with the Lord Jesus, then go ahead and invite it. Now, maybe it'll be instant, maybe not. It'll be different for you than it was for Kathryn or me or anybody. But he's intimate, he's individual to you. And after you know him, the only way to relate to anybody is through him. And I tell you, it's electric, it's a vitality, it's electricity in a bottle. It's like sticking your finger in a socket of life.
Right. What inspired you? Who mentored you?
Well, it's really too many people to list, and when the pupil is ready, the teacher will appear. Have you heard that before?
Yes.
So I've just candidly, people ask me what church I go to. I say I'm a Methobaptista-Costal. Methobaptista-Costal.
Yeah, I got it.
Because I've been a leader in every single one of those. And you know what? If you're hungry for the Lord, you might have a journey among a bunch of different places. And where God moves you around, and so you're a member of different churches, and you rub up against different people, like the lovely Kathryn Raaker and her husband, and you just meet people, and the Lord connects you, and you have a fellowship. Because he's like a tapestry weaver, and he doesn't need all blue ink or no all red ink or all green ink. He weaves it together, and it makes a great picture.
Right.
So the body of Christ is like that, hands, arms, and other parts. And so, of course, she's the face, but I might be the mouth. But anyway,
right.
We're having a good time.
Yes, we are. Right.
And so the viewer, you can just trust that God manages everything perfectly. He loves you so much. Is he holy? Oh yeah. Does he know more than you do? You bet. Have you messed up? Oh yeah. Is the devil against you? You got it. But guess what? God is bigger than all that. So put your faith in him. You can go out on any limb. He won't saw it off if he told you to go on that limb. Isn't that the truth?
That's the truth. We're running out of time.
I tell you, I love your viewers. The people that watch your show, I just have a feeling for how they love you, and they love the content that you're producing.
Oh, thank you.
So I praise God for what you're doing, Kathryn.
Praise you.
I will enjoy talking to you again.
Well, we're on Wilkins. We're on a lot of Christian radio stations, but we're also on regular radio, AMF, and we also, if you have an iPhone, we have a podcast. All of our radio shows are there. We do it on LinkedIn. We do it every way we can.
Oh.
And God really helps us to do that, right?
He does?
He does.
So can I tell them the website one more time?
Yes, go right ahead.
So it's ParadigmLighthouse.com. Paradigm, P-A-R-A-D-I-G-M, ParadigmLighthouse.com. You can see all these books, but this newest release right here, Nobody Sees This Creation, The Origin of the Devil and His Replacements. Very exciting.
That's exciting for me too. Thank you so much. You've been a blessing.
Oh,
thanks.
The Lord bless you, Kathryn.
Yeah. And I will send you my book.
Oh.
Okay, so you need to give me your address somewhere. I want to thank you so much for being on our show today, Paul. And I wish you all the luck. And I can't wait to have you back on the show again.
Oh,
all right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And don't forget to do your website one more time.
ParadigmLighthouse.com. P-A-R-A-D-I-G-M Lighthouse.com.
And thank you so much for joining me today. And don't forget to go to our website at KathrynRaakersWorld.com and Let'sJustTalk.com and TheChefYouAndI.com. Thank you. Got it all?